I've had 3 abortions. Chances are you've had one or more abortions also. Most of us think no one could ever understand, or I'll never get over this. But that's not true. In this video, we'll talk about the best options for healing after abortion. It is true that there isn't just one path or one way to recover. Just as the circumstances that led to your abortion were different than mine, our healing journeys are very personal and unique. It takes courage to admit you need help, but never doubt there is a compassionate, loving God who will lead you to people for support and direction. I've brought one of them to meet you. Karen Barbito from Support After Abortion is here to make sure you know about all the different options that are available if or when you decide you're ready for the next steps. So Karen, I'm just delighted that you're here. And I guess as a start-off question, in a nutshell, what do you want to say to people watching that, how do they know that they might need help in healing from abortion?
Such a great question. There's obvious ways that our pain manifests. It could be in uncontrollable crying or bursts of anger and rage, and it could be suicidal thoughts. Those are all pretty obvious things that something's going on that's not healthy. But there's less obvious ones, like that person that maybe numbs out through alcohol or drugs like I did. They could quit. There could be maybe they're isolating. Maybe they're not spending time with their friends and family like they once did, or perhaps they're staying really, really busy, so they stay outside of their head and they're not thinking about what they've been through. There's all different kinds of ways, but probably the one that I come across the most is when you ask somebody how they're really feeling, they'll say, "I'm fine," and change the subject right away. That's a telltale sign that somebody's got something going on that they don't want to talk about.
Yeah. You stepped on like sensitive ground, or like, it's something that they don't want to pursue. And I related to a lot of what you talked about. And so if we've captured the attention of you watching today, just know that it can show up in lots of different ways, that need for help and healing. So Karen, we talk about the word healing. And when I think about healing, I think about when I'm cut or bruised, but this emotional healing, what does it mean to be healed from abortion?
Well, I think, Jane, wow, that's an interesting question. Now, how do I know that I'm healed from my abortion is what I'm hearing you ask me. And all I can say is that my abortion changed me in ways that I never expected to be changed. And being able to talk about it with people that can relate to my issue, and being able to get to that place where I forgive myself. There's no shame about my abortion in my life anymore. There might be some regret, and at times I'm sad, but I learned through the healing process that I can be filled with joy and happy and sad at the same time. It's not a trigger for me to talk about my abortion anymore. It's not, I don't hide it from people. If people judge me, it doesn't sting me like it would have when I was judging myself. So I don't know that there's a really straightforward answer to you. I think that healing and being healed looks different for everyone. But that's how I know that I'm healed, is it's not something I'm ashamed of anymore.
Yeah, that's so good. And I love that you're touching on the fact that it means different things to different people because our experiences are different and what's happened since that time. And I think about it for myself as that experience of abortion doesn't take over my life, or it's not running my life. And we had a gentleman in our support group the other day, and he was talking about the guilt he felt. And he said, I just can't get past the guilt. I just keep going over what I did. And so I think some of the healing process is when you have processed that emotion, you understand why it's there, forgiveness sometimes comes in, forgiveness of another person or of yourself.
Mhm.
And then that overwhelming feeling of guilt doesn't keep you stuck, whether it's guilt or shame or your heartbreak.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, how do so we think we need some healing, we want some help, but what are some of the resources that are out there that we can turn to?
There's so many different kinds, and it really depends on what somebody's drawn to,
Mm.
how you process the best. People process differently. Some people process by journaling, right? So let me just kind of give you the spectrum of what we
Yeah, that'd
have.
be great. Perfect.
So there's books that you could purchase and go through yourself. There's websites that have healing journey like laid out for you on their website that you can do anonymously and at your own pace. You can do one-on-one in person or virtually. Same thing with a small support group where you'll be sharing with other people that have had similar experiences to you.
Huh.
There's even theater. There's a play out there about abortion. It's called Viable.
Oh,
Um, I encourage you to check it out to see if it's something that you resonate with. There's weekend retreats like Rachel's Vineyard that I know that you've been through multiple times. I've been through multiple groups because I don't get anything on the first time completely. So
yeah.
um, there's music. We on our website we have a couple of songs that talk about abortion. You can look at the lyrics while the song is playing, and we call it music as a bridge to abortion healing. So, however it is that you process best, for those of you that are watching, I don't know if any of those just like made you perk up a little bit because you'd never heard of it and didn't know that something like that was available. But yeah, we're trying to make it custom for you, however it is, the options that you want.
Wow. So I put on the screen the contact information for support after abortion. That 844 number is a toll-free number, and Support After Abortion is an organization that I trust. I know it's confidential. There's compassionate, skillful, experienced people that you'll talk to. So, Karen, what happens if someone would call the Hope Line or email Support After Abortion? How could you work with someone at Support
Yeah,
After?
I mean, we have a team that's fully been trained on how to talk with people on the phone who've had abortions. And at the email, somebody will. We have a crew that mans the station. It's not 24/7. I want to tell you that now, but our policy is to get back with you within 24 hours, and we will always respond to you. You can text that line as well if you prefer to do that rather than call. But we'll get back to you, and we'll listen to you and find out where you are and what you're looking for, and we'll get you connected to the help that you want.
Yeah, you're like a clearinghouse. You know the best practices out there,
Yeah.
and whether whatever the media is. But talk to me about, is Support After Abortion like a Christian or a religious group?
Well, I'm a person of faith. I have a relationship with Jesus, but whoever you are, whatever you believe is okay with me. I just want to help hurting people not hurt anymore, right?
Mhm.
Hurt people. We don't mean to, but we're just not in a healthy place. And we want you to be whole. We want you to meet your maximum potential in life. And you have a lot of potential,
Yeah.
right? And so we don't have an agenda. We're not trying to convert you. We're not trying to make you feel the way that we do or think the way that we do. We want you to be you. In fact, we don't want you to feel anything that you don't feel. We don't want you to believe anything that you don't believe. So we're not in that business. I'm just here to make sure that you don't live the life that I lived to
Yeah.
get where I am today, right?
Yeah. So I hear you saying that you have had your own personal journey that included some aspects of your faith and your relationship with Jesus, as I have too, and that's been important to us.
Mhm.
And that you and the team recognize that that's not going to be the same for everyone.
Yeah.
And you're going to respect those differences too.
And we know that to be true. We did consumer research. We asked the people that are watching. Only 16% of women that we surveyed wanted to start with a God message. And so we created what we're calling a secular booklet. It's called Keys to Hope and Healing. It's very entry level. And because there's 84% of women out there that weren't going to start anything because we didn't offer anything that they could connect to, right?
Yeah. That is really, really good. And if you're getting value from this video, would you hit the like button so that other people can find this on their feed if they're looking for help after abortion. I'd really appreciate that. So Karen, as we're kind of getting here towards the end, there are some, I guess, some takeaways that I'd like to summarize. But before I do that, what would you like the people that are watching know about healing after abortion?
There's a couple things, if I can take a couple minutes, Jane. First thing is that there's options for you. Based on your preference, your schedule, we created options, which means that you can meet in person or virtually. You can do a weekend retreat. You can do self-guided stuff through websites. I just want you to know that all that's available. So it's your level of comfort, and you can connect to whatever really works for you. But I also want to kind of close in on you here and talk to you personally who's watching. You know, I had my own abortion, and I know about the shame and the silence. You know, abortion is socially accepted, but it's never talked about. And I know how scary it is to talk about something so private, but you're in pain. And there's people here that can help you work through that emotional pain. Please don't wait decades like I did to reach out for help. In fact, I didn't even know help is available. So at least you're ahead of the game because you know that help is available and you know now where to go. Pick up the phone, write a text, reach out to us. We'll be there to help you.
Whether you realized it or not, you're already on the path to healing after your abortion. There is so much support available to all of us, and I'm grateful to Karen for explaining some of the ways. But if you're feeling too ashamed to reach out, or you're feeling overwhelmed with sadness, check out these videos. I'm your mentor, Jane, on the journey to a good life with Jesus at the center, even after abortion.